What's up, everybody? Ty Bartellin with another edition of Player Profile. This one, a special one, because if you're not seeing this young man on the football field, on the basketball court, on the baseball field, you're seeing him on the headset too, calling games for YSN. It's our very own Austin Rowe that joins me today from the LABRAE Vikings. Austin, how we doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Not doing too bad. And man, you haven't been doing too bad too on that baseball diamond. Before we get into this season and what you've done in recent seasons, I kind of always like to start off with the first chapter in the baseball journey. What's the earliest memories you have in the sport when you first remember getting involved?
I just remember, playing t-ball, and then I've been playing since I was like 5. Just playing with my friends. My dad and some other parents helped coach, and I played a lot of travel baseball over the years, so it's been a lot of baseball.
What kind of kept you in love with it too? What kind of drove you to keep staying involved with it over the years?
I'd say my favorite part about baseball is fielding, and then hitting came along too. So there's really nothing to hate about the sport.
Your hitting came along real well last year, too. You were the top hitter on the team, batting just under 400. You also had a pretty good year on the mound as well. Talk to me about balancing both of those things out, too, and trying to find success in both areas, in the offensive side hitting and also on the mound.
Yeah, it's just a lot of practice reps. Obviously, pitching you can't do a lot, but hitting you can work on it, every day, and then pitching, it kind of just came naturally, I guess. I never really took lessons or anything. It just came naturally, and then hitting, same thing really.
What are the things you kind of look to improve on year to year in both categories? I know pitching's more or less, I feel like a lot more of off-season training and getting yourself right for the next season too. How have you kind of tackled trying to improve yourself in both areas each season?
Well, through basketball season, I really can't work on it a whole lot. Uh, but during the fall, I can kind of usually get some hitting reps in and then throw a little bit. But it's not really, for me, it's not really a whole lot. Usually just in the summer and then in like travel season, and then in the spring for high school.
When we talk about this season two, junior season for you, how excited are you for this campaign to more of an upperclassman now? You're taking on a little bit more of a leadership responsibility and role. How has that been like for you, and how has that experience for you? Is it a fish out of water, or is it more feel at home for you?
It kind of feels at home. We have a good returning group. Me and Landon and Boone, are kind of like the leaders of the team. Me and Boone kind of did it in basketball season, so it should be pretty fun to take that leadership role and help get this team to where they need to be.
How helpful is it that you guys have gotten to experience this success, not just on the baseball diamond like you had last year too, but also like you hinted at too with the basketball court? Talk to me about what that kind of success does for you personally, and what do you think it does for the team when you have people that have had success in other sports or had success like they did last year too returning?
Yeah, it makes the sport a way more fun to play than losing. So, uh, yeah, just winning is always something I've liked to do. I hate losing, and to be able to win at the rate we have in basketball and baseball, it's really awesome.
Between you and Riley, I know your sister Riley too, multiple sport athlete as well. Who's more competitive between the two of you at home?
I'd say myself.
You're gonna give yourself the
She'd
edge
probably
too.
say her.
What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing you guys compete over? Is there something you guys that drives
Uh,
competition between you two?
Usually, probably ping pong in the basement. We used to play a lot of that, like during COVID, and sometimes like in basketball, like the point totals and stuff.
Who do you
But
think? However you draw it up, I don't know. Is it matches, or how do you draw that up? If you win a match, I guess I don't know if that's how you draw it up. What's the all time record against Riley? If you were to kind of guesstimate what that record is, what do you think the all time record is?
I'd say like I don't know though. Probably we played a lot, so I'd say like maybe 50 to 30 me. We used to play like a lot of best of 5 series, and I'd probably won like 6, 7 of those. So
Okay. All right. So you got the edge of the series too, right? You got to get that ping
yeah.
pong game up a little bit. Talk to me about this year's team too, and just the excitement you have surrounding it. I know there's a lot of excitement with all the letter winners you guys have returning. What kind of expectations do you have for the squad this year?
Well, I'd say first is, to win the conference, and then second is to get back to the district championship and hopefully come out on top as we fell in it last year. So hopefully win that and the conference.
I've been asking a lot of players this because I feel like the baseball glove, it's like trying to pick out marriage too, finding that perfect match for baseball players. What's the perfect glove for you? What's the fit we're rocking with this year?
I have this Rawlings. I've used it Rawlings since I was like middle school, so that's really the only glove I've used for the past like 6, 7 years.
You gotta rep the brand too, stay brand loyal. I've also been asking players too about alternate uniforms too. If you could create an alternate uniform, any kind of color scheme, anything you want to do with it for the Vikings, what would that alternate uniform look like?
I'd say I'd want to have gray pinstripes
Everybody
for
loves the pinstripes too. The gray ones too. On what's the background? Is it red? Is it black? What's the color scheme on the back?
red. I'd say red.
All right, red with gray pinstripes
Yeah.
too. All right. I like it. I like it. There's always got to be a pinstripe look. You guys have a pinstripe look though, if I'm not mistaken. You got
Yeah, we have gray
yeah.
with black.
Yeah, the one pinstripe look too. Those aren't a bad look. Those aren't a
Yeah, I
bad
like
look.
our black uniforms.
We talk about this team this year too, and just the excitement surrounding it. What do you look at as some of your personal goals this year for yourself that you've set? We know the team goals. What are some of your personal goals?
For me, I'd say just being able to hit at the success I did last year and just having the same success I did on the defensive side as I did last year as well.
I know inside that row family, you guys are always full speed go. You don't like sitting around too often. You guys like getting out and being active and doing things. You're a student as well as an athlete, and you're a multiple sport athlete, as I said. What's it like for you to kind of balance that time too and make sure you keep the grades up in the classroom as well as keeping yourself up on the field and on the court?
So for me, I usually get home at around like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on these nights, and then sometimes that's when I'll study, and then usually if I can't study at night, I'll study first period. I study hall, um, and then homework is pretty much the same thing for that.
What would be kind of a bit of advice you would give to some young and up and coming players, freshmen, maybe even middle schoolers, to kind of balance that out and also to kind of have the success that you're having at the varsity level too, that those younger players may be looking up to you?
I'd say just put in a lot of work, and if you face adversity, just deal with it. I guess I don't know. You're gonna face some challenges, so you just gotta deal with them, and yeah.
Well, how have you overcome them? Because we know baseball is a sport of adversity. You're all, like you said, you're going to face it at some point, one way or another. Life is a very similar concept. How have you been able to kind of battle and overcome some adversity that you may have had in the sport?
So for me, I always look at it like 3 out of 10 hitting is pretty good. Like in the major leagues. So and then you're always gonna make errors at some point. So you can't like expect it, but you have to like be ready for when it happens to just bounce back from it and make the next play.
Now, you took a big step too, as not only being on the floor too, you decided to kind of tell the story as well and get behind the headset for us this basketball season. Talk to me about that experience, what that's been like for you too, and what kind of drove your
Yeah.
interest in the broadcasting field.
So I watch a lot of sports on television, and I've always liked to listen to certain announcers. So it's something I thought I want to try and maybe pursue a career in. Just because I'm always following basketball and football. So
I think you do a great job at it. I've
thank you.
gotten a chance to listen to a few broadcasts. What's it like for you to be able to watch the sister play too and kind of be behind the mic for that? How cool of an experience is that? Do you try to critique her a little bit? Do you gas her up a little bit? How does the broadcast sound when
Uh,
you're behind it?
Usually I try to gas her up, and it's awesome to be able to do LABRAE games because those are people I see in school every day, and my mom's the coach, so it was really awesome to be able to call some LABRAE games, and yeah.
Your family is such big supporters of us here at YSM, but they are such big supporters of both you and Riley, and your parents just love what you do. I don't miss them at any game. I feel like one of them's at least always there somewhere too, trying to support both of you. What's it like to have that support system at home too, and have parents that are so involved with you?
Yeah, it's awesome to have them at every game. I remember they had the, I think, district semifinal, and we had our final regular season game at Liberty. They weren't there, but they were still trying to get like my grandparents there. So it was it's been awesome to have them at every event and taking me places and everything.
So okay, we're gonna go a little bit rapid fire. You ready?
Yep.
All right. If you could take any skill from any one MLB player, what would it be?
Like, ooh, that's a good question. I'd say Shohei Otani's ability to hit and pitch.
Okay, all right. The two-way player aspect. I like it. I like it. What's the dream ballpark to play in? Whether that's major league, college, doesn't matter. What's the dream ballpark to play in?
I really like PNC Park, the Pirates. It's
Okay,
probably that.
that's got to be. I've said it before. It's one of, if not the best ballpark in all of Major League
Yeah,
Baseball, no doubt.
it's really nice.
Who's a Major League Baseball role model and or college baseball role model? Who's a baseball role model for you?
Um, I'd say maybe O'Neal Cruz, just because of how tall I am and I play shortstop.
Okay,
So,
who's the real life role model for you?
ooh, I'd probably say my dad.
All right, all right. That's. I think we were looking for that too. That's
Yeah,
always a great answer, no doubt. What has your dad been there supporting you most into? What's one of your core memories you have with your dad in sports?
probably just winning a bunch of tournaments in baseball and basketball when we were like really younger. He coached all my teams, so it was awesome.
Would you rather have a walk off hit or a game saving diving catch?
Game saving diving catch.
All right, defensive man. I like to hear it. I like to hear it. If you were able to do a customized bat, kind of like what they do with like the pencil look in some leagues too, what would you do for a customized look for a bat?
I'd probably do like one of those ice cream bats.
All right. All right. What any kind of like specific scoop you would do for it?
Uh, Probably plain vanilla.
All right, gotta just do the OG, no doubt.
Yeah,
Speaking of meals too and desserts, what's the post game meal go to for a big win?
probably pizza or steak.
All right, very different things too, but I could see it either
Yeah,
way too, depending on how big the win is. Right, is if we're going the steak route.
yeah.
Austin, before I let you go, I want to give you the spotlight to shout out and shine it on anybody else that has been big for you in this baseball journey, and that you couldn't do this without.
I'd just say all my family, my friends that I've got to grow up playing with. Uh, my sister, obviously, my dad, my mom, my grandparents, my coaches. Yeah.
Well, awesome. We're so excited to see what you're able to do out there on the diamond, both in the batter's box and on the hill. We're always rooting for you. We love what you do too on the mic for us as well. We love you, and we can't wait to see what you do out there this year as we'll be out there on the diamond real soon.
All right. Thank you for having me on this.